Namaste, Jai Bharat. Hypocrisy is too good a word for America when it comes to things seriously. Hypocrisy is too good a word. They say one thing, show one thing, do very different things. Many times which has nothing to do with what they speak or show. To begin with, the very land which they call as America is not really theirs. It belongs to somebody else. You may call them as Indians they may call, or Red Indians, whatever. And these entire lot of Americans are immigrants. Came from many parts of the world, including Asia. So America's multi-standards and double standards are very not in the world, very not to the world. And they are never going to stop it. All these apart, with such empty mindset, they do all kinds of boisterous things, very loud talk, things like that. And they do bully at the same time. But they have a American, some kind of forum for religious freedom. And it's headed by a very liberal minded, very secular Muslim from Pakistan. How secular, open-minded they are is known to you if you want to know. Otherwise, you choose to remain ignorant. That's a choice. But such choices had already destroyed the entire Europe to a great extent. And when Netanyahu said that UK is going to be the first Islamic atomic power, he did not joke. That is to come. They have been taken over by these people because of the policies, attitudes of Europeans and their foolish arrogance. Generally, arrogance is foolish, but this is utterly foolish arrogance. And this person who is custodian of religious freedom, of Pakistani origin, suddenly finds that Bharat doesn't have religious freedom. What to say to such people and such remarks? The only religion, if you call it as religion, we call it as dharma, in the entire cosmos, which respects any belief system, is Hindu dharma. We were taught ekam sat viprabhavadha vadanti, Rigveda. We were taught to accept and respect other person's faith, not to interfere. But other religions, you have to force yourselves to become secular on conditions. And such person from a notoriously radical nation is heading this institution who dares say that there is no religious freedom in Bharat. Your ancestors would not have existed if there was no religious freedom in Bharat. When your ancestors who converted to your ancestors, when Islamic invasion converted your ancestors and they became Muslims, nobody had disturbed them. You've lived, you've thrived. When Bharat was divided by the funny Europeans, British, as Muslims and Hindu, I'm not entirely blaming the British. The problem lied within Islam for division. But the British did facilitate it. Divided, when Pakistan got carved out of Bharat, what was the percentage of non-Muslims living in Pakistan, Hindus, Sikhs, Christians as well. And what was the percentage of Muslim living in Bharat? And today, what is the percentage of Muslims in Bharat? And what is the percentage of Hindus and Sikhs and also Christians in Pakistan? This tells you who is persecuted where. Just take that down. And you are trying to teach us secularism. You are trying to sell needles to blacksmith. This is the extent of double standard which the Americans support. I think that the common American citizen is not bothered about those things except minding his own business. That may be the case. But politics is a business there. Of course, politics may be a business in every democracy. And people say things and don't follow it up. Not just that, do entirely different things. Look at this character who is of Pakistani origin, who has this, who dares to speak about Sarsang Chalak, who dares speaking about Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. He is nobody with nothing up his sleeves to make such idiotic statements which by default we will ignore in its entire connotation. Look who is speaking and about whom. That's the kind of standards which they follow. One, of course, that's general with Americans. One standard for themselves and other standard for others. That's multi-standard. Multi-standard. Anyway, I will not go beyond it because I don't like to use harsh words beyond a point when it compels nationalism, my nation. Well, I do get offended when it comes to nation. And as a result, Europe is facing existential crisis, not yet visible, but in future they will be deep into existential crisis and will be deep into identity crisis, and that time you won't even realize why all these things happened. You will just go with that. That's a problem. We shall meet. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.